Charizard has always been a big fan favorite, and today we're going through the top 10 Charizards to pick up to add into your collection. Now, some of these cards have been dropping in price, so now is just a great time to pick up some of these modern era Charizards. What are they? Well, let's go and find out. Alright guys, so today, Charizards, that's what we're talking about. I did a video on this months ago, a long time ago actually. There's been a lot more Charizards released since then. Prices have changed by a lot of these Charizards. Most of them have gone down in price. There are some really big Charizards out there and nice ones. Let's be fair, they're really, really nice. Now, there is a bit of Charizard fatigue as we keep seeing Charizard come out on all of these sets. However, we can't deny how well they do in the long term and how they just draw people in to a particular set. So today we'll be looking at TCG Play at 10 different Charizards and see which one is the best. So coming number 10, we have the Reshiram and Charizard GX. This is the normal tag team GX card from Unbroken Bonds. Now we're not going through like the most expensive Charizards, we're just going through Charizards which are pretty good and you can get for a pretty decent price, because there are some Charizards of course like in Unbroken Bonds which are really, really nice. I mean, of course they could continue to go up, but we just don't know. Now there's a big boom obviously going on with Sun and Moon era right now, especially when it comes to alt arts, but there are still some really good ones that you can pick up, and this is one that's a lot more affordable. That's why I put it at number 10, because it is more of the cheaper end. We're looking at $11 for this card. Over the past 3 months it has been going down. I do actually have this in my collection in the PSA 10. It's an absolutely gorgeous card. I just like the artwork. I think the artwork's pretty sweet. Let's go back into 6 months. This card has been pretty stable, but only recently has it dropped in price. But over the past year, this card hasn't really moved a huge amount, right? It's kind of gone down overall, which is pretty good. So now's a really good time to pick one up. As you can see, the latest sales, some of these have been selling for under $10, so you can actually pick up a pretty decent one for a good price. But overall, it's a nice little one. That's why it's in number 10. All right, number 9, we got the Ablaze Charizard. Now, this is the most expensive Charizard, or card in fact, in Ablaze. Ablaze booster boxes are like $150 a box, right? This is the chase card at $25. I mean, do you want to open up Ablaze? Or do you just want to buy the most expensive card in the set for $25? It's actually crazy, and I'm actually quite surprised that it's dropping even more. Now, I would argue now to say that Ablaze is the worst set in the Sword and Shield era. I would say so. I would say it's worse than Rebel Clash. I would say it's worse than Sword and Shield base. It is just terrible. It is so, so terrible. So, yeah, $25 over the past 3 months, as you can see, it has been dropping from just over $30. I mean, that is just dire, let's put it that way. So it was sitting around $30 for the longest time, and then it dropped and kind of been dropping again, which is pretty crazy. But over the past year, look at that, it was $40, then it dropped 50% of a card that's already not that expensive. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, I remember when the set first came out and this Charizard was really expensive, but it's just a normal VMAX. It's nothing special. It's not a rainbow or an alt art or anything like that. It's just a normal VMAX, so it's kind of interesting. The rest of the set is really worth much either. I actually think you could probably near enough complete the set, like equal to the value of a booster box, maybe like a booster box and a half, or probably even less than 2 boxes. You can complete the whole entire set. So yeah, here's a pretty cheap one. All right, now onto a really nice one. This is the special delivery Charizard. Now this is the promo you got from the UK Pokemon Center a while back now, and basically you got it for a limited time only, and it's a gorgeous card. Now I've had some, and I've had some graded. This is a really nice one, and it's been dropping in price, so now is a really good time to pick these up. And I always feel like the special delivery ones are really good. I mean, the Bidoof has just gone absolutely crazy. This one in particular hasn't gone crazy yet. Will it go crazy? Who knows? So let's take a look at this. Over the past year, this card has gone from around 50 or even 50, yeah, about $50, $53 down to 38. So it has been dropping overall. And I mean, when I picked this card up, I mean, it was selling for probably around £40 or more. I mean, some people sell it for a little bit more. I've had some graded. They both unfortunately came back as a PSA 9, no 10s, unfortunately. Difficult with promos. It is difficult. But nonetheless, it is a really nice card. I think it will do well. We've got the Bidoof to kind of give us a rough idea, but that's kind of just really, really good. But overall, yeah, it's a gorgeous card. Nice for any collection, especially if you like Pikachu as well. But overall, not bad. Alright, coming to number 7, we have a new one. It is the big Charizard from Obsidian Flames. Now, this is a nice Charizard. Now, I've pulled it twice on the stream for people, and I've seen what it looks like. It is really nice, and you know, compared to the other Charizards on the set, they're okay, but this really does look nice in the flesh. Obsidian Flames has been dropping in price. It's got really good pull rates in Obsidian Flames, one of the reasons why this card's been dropping like crazy, and it's quite interesting. So we're looking at $69 for this card, and over the past 3 months, I mean, it hasn't really been out that long. It basically got released at around $100, right? and it has been dropping since. I mean, over the past month, it's gone from 80 to less than 70. Where will this card go? Will it continue to drop the more the Obsidian Flames gets opened? Yes and no. I do feel like this will continue to drop for a little bit as we'll get more, waves of Obsidian Flames. However, we might get to the point where not so many people are opening up Obsidian Flames and they're just basically going to be going for 151. Now, one thing is 151 is because it's such a big and powerful set right now, then what's basically happening is I think it's kind of like overshadowing Obsidian Flames, because the release date between Obsidian Flames and 151 is not really that much apart. I think it was like maybe like 6 weeks. There wasn't really that much apart. So I feel like people just kind of like, yeah, we'll open up some Obsidian Flames, whatever. But then they want to go for 151. I think that this card will be affected by that. We kind of saw that with Fusion Strike back in the Sword and Shield era. I kind of feel like Obsidian Flames might fall into that category. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. I put it in this list anyway, kind of not too high up, as it is quite new, but it is still a great one. Alright, on to another great one. We have the Charizard from the Classic Collection from Celebrations. Now, this is like nostalgia, right? The artwork is just fantastic. Celebrations is a really good set. Pull rates are pretty good. Trying to get some of the Classic Collection can be quite tricky. This is still quite tricky. I'm missing this card. There's like 2 cards I'm missing, which is this and the Golden Mew, literally the 2 biggest cards. But it is a really nice card nonetheless. And it's kind of holding somewhat value for the longest time. We go back a past year, $71 right now. And it was around 70 for the longest time. And it did actually peak to nearly 90, like 88. So it did pretty well. And it's gone down ever since. Like over the past 3 months, we've started to see that decline happen. And I do feel like it will go back up because Celebrations is getting harder and harder to get hold of. It's a great set. People want to open it. I think down the line, people want to open it. Kind of like they did with Generations. It is still a beautiful card from a really great set that people love. It's got nostalgia because the artwork, people are going to want it. So that's one good thing about it. Right, coming to the top 5, we have the Rainbow Charizard VMAX. I love this card. It's actually one of my favorite Charizards. I do have it, graded. And, I pulled it my first Champions Path ETB. Champions Path is a very difficult set, let's put it that way, to get the pulls, right? It's this and the other Charizard, the shiny one. And this card is really good, but it's been dropping in price. We're looking at $100 or less than $160. Over the past 3 months, it has dropped from 180 to 160. So it's been dropping already. Okay, now Champions Path ETBs, I mean, you could pick them up for less than $100 maybe now. And it's only 10 packs, so if you don't pull the Charizards, it's not really worth it. But nonetheless, it is really good. So we go back to the last 6 months. Let's take a look at this. So it's been dropping over the last 6 months from $200 now. So it's dropped, $40 in 6 months. It is a pretty big drop, to be fair. We go up over the past year. It's the lowest it's ever been. All right, over the past year, at least. Right, so that's pretty impressive that it's dropped that much already. Now's a good time, guys. Champions Path, don't really open it that much. Not many people really talk about it. There's only 2 big Charizards in the set. You might be better off just buying the Charizard. What is the cost of 1.5 ETBs? That's pretty good going, right? Yeah, brilliant cards. And it's just cheap. Alright, coming along with more of these VMAXs, we got the Charizard one from Shining Fates. This again is a beautiful artwork. I love the artwork of these. $76. This card has not been doing very well. Now, Shining Fates, heavily printed. I mean, ridiculously printed. You can still quite easily get ETBs now for basically the same price as they've been for over the past year. So Shining Fates, unfortunately, pretty much everything in Shining Fates has taken a massive hit. So is this Charizard. So again, we're looking, $76, $77. Over the past year, it was over 100, and it's been 100 for like 90 to 100 for the longest time. But only recently, maybe like the past 3 months. Yeah, past 3 months, I would say 6 months. Yeah, 6 months has been dropping. So it's a really good card nonetheless. It has been going down. Tough to pull. It is very, very tough to pull. I mean, look, PokeRev hasn't even pulled it, and he's opened up God knows how many Shining Face packs. It is a very tough card to get. I was very fortunate to pull mine, but it is very, very difficult. It is a gorgeous card. I think any of these Charizard VMAXs artwork are just fantastic. So yeah, pretty big one overall. But right now, it's pretty good to get. I mean, it's like price of 2 ETBs? Pretty good going. Right, Brilliant Stars time. Rainbow Charizard V-Star. I love this card. I really do. It's really nice. And, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of rainbows, but this is a nice card. We did pull this quite a few times. It's kind of fallen victim to reprints. Brilliant Stars has been reprinted quite a bit, to be honest. Didn't realize actually how many times it's been reprinted. It is still a strong set. We can't deny that it is still a strong set and a great set to open. Good pull rates as well. $54 for this card. I mean, over the past 3 months, it's dropped from 62, 63, you know, only a few dollars here and there. If we go back the past 6 months, that's when we start to see big drops from 80, now down to 54. And over the past year, I mean, it was sitting around 80 for the longest time, and look at this. And we've been seeing that with a lot of Sword and Shield era cards, and especially with the sets that's been reprinted. Brilliant Stars is definitely one of them. You know, people have fallen out a bit of favour with Charizard, so I do feel like it is dropping. So now's a great time to get this one. I mean, I picked one up myself. I went and bought one for my own collection, because I didn't, you know, pull one for myself. I paid £80, now 54. I mean, I've been seeing people sell it for like 45, you know, on Facebook Marketplace and also on eBay, 45.50. I paid 80 for it. It was about maybe, I would probably say nearly a year ago now. But hey, it's cheaper, so it is what it is. But still a great card. Okay, coming number 2, we got the Alt Art Charizard. You may be thinking, what's number 1? Well, we'll get to that. So the Alt Art Charizard from Brilliant Stars, again, like the Rainbow, has been dropping. Brilliant Stars being reprinted. You know, great card. And I thought this card would be more expensive than it was. I thought it was going to hold good value. It's been hit by the reprints. And this is what happens. It's still an expensive card, $122. It's not like it's, you know, $30 or $25 like the one from Dance Ablaze. But yeah, so it was $138, $140. It's kind of had this weird movement over the past 3 months. If we go back the last 6 months though, we can see that this card's gone from $160. It's dropped around about $30, $40 in the last 6 months, which is again another fair chunk. But it's maybe the past year. You know, when I'm looking at this, it's nearly dropped 50% from like 200 to 10. That's nuts. That's absolutely crazy. You know, this is maybe, you know, this is cheaper than most of the big old arts now from the Sword and Shield era. You know, it's cheaper than the Gengar, it's cheaper than the Lugia, it's cheaper than the Espeon, it's cheaper than so many others. It's kind of, it sounds weird, but the Charizard, this sounds really weird. The Charizard is going at the same rate to be as low as the Alt Art Tyranitar from Battle Styles. You know, it's getting to that level. So it's quite interesting. I think now is a perfect time to pick this up. It really is. I don't have one myself. I think it's awesome artwork. It's one of my favourite all-time Charizards. So yeah, I think it's a really good one. Okay, before we get into the last one, guys, you made it this far into the video, make sure to smash that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon content. And let me know in the comments, which are your favourite Charizards? Which one are you still after? Which one are you still after? For me, I would probably have to go with the Alt Art Charizard. I really do like it. I still don't have it in my collection. It is a beautiful, stunning card. So what do you think number 1 is? Well, 151 has come out. It's introduced us a new Charizard, but it's not on this list. We're going back to Sun and Moon. Let's get into it. Right, Burning Shadows Rainbow Zard. This is the big boy, okay? This is incredibly hard to pull. Burning Shadows is very, very expensive. I mean, you know, not compared to some of the other Sun and Moon sets, because they're more expensive, but it is an expensive set. Try and pull this. It's so tough. It really, really is tough. The pull rates to get this card is ridiculously tough. This card, $350, right? We're not talking about a cheap card, okay? We're not talking about something cheap. However, it is dropping in price. As you can see from the chart here, guys. So it actually was about $450 and it's dropped $100. So go about the last 3 months and, you know, it was $450 and it's dropped $100 in the last 3 months. That's crazy. Like, that's actually crazy. You've got the shiny Charizard from Hidden Fates. That's actually holding value. However, this is dropping in value. We go back the past year, and this card has always roughly been around $400. And then it had a little bit of a spike, and then bang. So it's the lowest it's ever been in the past year. It is a gorgeous card. I know that some people are not a huge fan of rainbows, but this looks sweet. Like, this card is nice. And I mean, if you get this graded in a 10, you're laughing. It's worth like maybe a couple of thousand, something crazy like that. So it's definitely worth getting and grading. So definitely try and get hold of one if you can. Perfectly honest, I would just buy it rather than try and pull it. I mean, you're probably going to open up so many booster boxes of Burning Shadows. Try and even get this card. So I wouldn't even try. Just buy the card. It is that good. So there you have it, guys. Those are the top 10 Charizards to pick up right now. I mean, there are some fantastic ones out there. And, you know, they're dropping in price. You know, of course, there are some Charizards that are going up. We didn't include many that in this list. We mainly went for ones that had been dropping and are just great pickups for the long haul, or just add into your collection. Now, we know people love Charizard. I like Charizard, and sometimes it can be a bit annoying that they keep releasing Charizards, but they do really well. And let's be honest, a lot of the artwork for Charizards look pretty sweet. The 151 Charizard hasn't been added in this list yet. It's too new. Prices are actually going up for that Charizard, so I wouldn't even think about picking one up just yet. Wait for it to drop in price, because it will, because so much of the product is being open right now. But you never know, when we do this list in the future, it could feature on it. Speaking of Charizards and the 151, watch me open up a 151 ETB, and I definitely pulled an absolute banger. So make sure to click on this video right here. And if you watch more Pokemon content, guys, you know what to do. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Alright guys, that's it from me in this video. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys are legends, and I'll see you in the next one.